Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to double, triple, or even quadruple your tomato production this year. Now these tomatoes behind me have been here for almost one full year. In just a couple of weeks, it'll be a full year since these tomatoes were planted here. Now up until last month, they looked great. They were green, healthy, still producing. And then end of February, beginning of March, we had a lot of cold weather, really wet weather, and it has definitely taken its toll. Now technically, indeterminate tomatoes are perennials, but very few climates offer that possibility, including mine. They really just don't do well at the 1-year mark. But in any climate, you can take advantage of one simple tool to extend your harvest much further. Now this all starts with growing your tomatoes up one stem, training them to one stem and pruning them. The advantages of that are you get a lot more tomatoes, larger tomatoes, in a smaller space. Now, I have a video where I go over the complete care of tomatoes, including how to train them to one stem, and I'll link that down below. And that is all great information, but it doesn't include the one thing I found since doing that video. And that video is still the #1 tomato video on YouTube, and we're now 4 years later. But over the last 3 years, I've been using tomato hooks. And let me show you what a tomato hook can do for your tomato production. Now it all starts with this trellis. And it doesn't have to be this grand. My first one was just 2x4s supporting 2x3s across the top with just some furring strips up here at the top. So you need a main support that goes up. You need a horizontal support that goes across to another main support. And then on that horizontal support, you need to put these pieces of wood the width of your bed. And as you can see, I use these hooks to grow peas, beans, climbing squash, cucumbers, in addition to tomatoes. Now I'm going to be doing a video I'm going to be adding on to this trellis. So in just a couple of weeks, I'll be doing a video showing you how to build this trellis. For now, we're going to focus on what these hooks do. Typically, depending on your length of growing season for tomatoes, if you grow them one stem, let's say up a string or up a bamboo cane, whatever, you can use anything. Once it gets to the top of that structure, it starts to flop and either break off or cause disease or just start looking unsightly, growing in different directions. It's hard to maintain. So typically what you do is you cut it off. And what does that do? That stops your tomato production. Now, obviously you can't raise your trellis. That would be pretty difficult to do to get more time on your tomato vines. But with the hooks, once your tomato reaches the top, all you have to do is unhook the string, let out a string or maybe a turn or two, and hang it back up. Now you've gained that much more space to let your tomato grow. If the season continues and it gets back up to the top again, guess what? Let out some more string and give them some more space to grow. It's a super simple idea that many of you over the past 3 years, we've been selling these on our website for 2 years. As far as I know, they're the best quality and the best price out there. Let me hear from some of you guys. If you've been using our hook method, let me know what you think. And over the past few years, I've gotten pictures from all over the world of viewers who have built my tomato trellis. It's been so much fun to see all of you guys kind of growing it the same way I do. And just to see that it has reached that far has been such fun for me. So I'll leave a link to the hooks down below. It's just such a simple idea that is so easy to use. It's a no-brainer. And like I said, you can grow many things on them, not just tomatoes. However, right now, it is time to tell these tomatoes, time's up, but we're gonna have to take you out and clean up this bed so we can get ready to plant our new crop of tomatoes for 2023. So the first thing I'm gonna do is go through and snip all of the strings off. And when you get the string, when you get the hooks, they're actually several years worth of string on here, and it's actually UV string, so it's not going to be rotting and breaking like several I tried before I got these. ground level. And then each one of these is held into the ground, the strings, by a landscape staple. Just going to slide that off. Save that for the upcoming season. Just keep moving on. This extra layer of mulch covers up any pathogens that might be on top of the soil, so that if there's rain or if you happen to water with a hose, which I don't like for tomatoes because you want to keep the water off. One of the reasons is because the water splashes on the bare soil that has pathogens, splashes them up to the leaves and starts disease. So a thick layer of mulch on top of the old soil is going to protect from that. So in terms of preparing the bed for tomatoes, that's all I need to do. The rest comes at planting time. So let's go check our seedlings and see how they're doing. Looking good. It's about time I thinned them out. It's past time actually. And filled them the rest of the way with potting mix. Let's do that. All right, we're going to take our tomatoes and you're just going to look for the strongest one. And they're all about the same. This one's kind of by itself. So I'm going to cut these off here. And cut the 3 off at soil level that aren't going to be kept. Now you can take cuttings of these. You can just root these in water if you need extra. So now we've got 1 tomato in the cup. Now we're going to take some more pre-moistened potting mix and just fill up the cup the rest of the way around that stem. You can leave a 1/2 inch or so at the top for watering. And I'm going to give them all a good feeding now with some Neptune's Harvest, tomato and veg. So that's that. In 2 weeks, those are going to have enough roots filling their container in that new potting soil we just put in there that they're going to be ready to plant in the bed we just prepared. Again, those hooks to maximize your production are available on our website. I'll leave that down, link to that down below. I'm also going to leave a link to the potting soil or seed starting mix that I used for the tomatoes. I got a few questions on that over the last few videos. So that's a link down in the description as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you learned something, consider subscribing, share it with a gardening friend, and I'll see you next time.